Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to make more money with upsells using Vitals. Now previously I did mention I was going to use a different app for a post-purchase upsell, but because this is your first store, it doesn't make sense to purchase other apps when everything's all in this one app anyway. Plus it gives the same exact benefits, so it really doesn't make too much of a difference. Alright, so to get started, go to apps on the left and go to Vitals. Then go to apps and click upsells. So in this video, I'm going to set up the product bundles upsell, the volume discount upsell, and also the one-click post-purchase upsell. So the first one we're going to create is going to be a product bundle. So click on the first one and go to create product bundle. So this is what it's going to look like right here on the right. So whenever you have multiple products on your store, you can have a frequently bought together type of bundle. So just to keep it very simple, we're going to go with, for slot A and for slot B, we're going to keep it as any product. Of course, feel free to select any specific product you want to have as frequently bought together, but just for this example, we're going to use any product. And just make sure this is also checked off because customers can now be able to select a different product from the bundle. So giving this option to customers is always helpful. All right, so next scroll down and go to continue to discount. So this discount is based on if a customer decides to actually buy the bundle, which is the ones that are frequently bought together, and they click add to cart, then they'll get 10% off. But feel free to, mess with this a little bit, 15, 20%, 25%, whatever's still within range to make a profit. And you definitely want to make sure it's displayed as the current product price. All right, so here on this page, we want to make sure it's active. The offer title is going to be frequently bought together. And the reason why I wouldn't recommend changing this is because this is how Amazon sets it up on their storefront. So by being consistent, like how it is on Amazon, even though we're not selling on Amazon, it gives the customer a better experience. And then you want to have add to cart as the button text. And for styling, just keep it automatic so it's the same style as your add to cart button. And for the crossed out price color, keep it red because it stands out more. And then for the advanced settings, show the You Save element on mobile and desktop, and then make sure it's visible on desktop and collapsible on mobile. And I like having the border enabled, so we'll leave that as is and the color will be the same. And then keep the cart suggestions on cart page active, because when they get to the cart page, they can still buy these two together. And if you'd like, you can have it on the thank you page and add to cart button. I mean, you could have the add to cart button, but I'm not going to enable it right now. Then once that's done, go to continue to review. So just review this, and then if it's good, click active, and then click save. Enable app. So the next upsell I want to create is a volume discount. So this app allows a customer to get a discount for every additional unit they purchase. All right, so let's create volume discount. So I'm going to go with table, even though this one does look the best, but the reason I'm not choosing it is because it has too much information, because this might throw off a customer when they see like too many different prices. So I'm going to stick with table and then click next step. All right, so leave it as any product and then also leave this unchecked, and then we'll scroll down and click continue. So you can choose how many discounts you want. So we're going to add 3 different options. So if they get 2 units, it'll be 10% off. If they get 3 units, it'll be 20% off. Then scroll down and then click continue to appearance. And then again, this is the layout that we had first saw. So we can always switch it to radio selection, badges, which I definitely don't recommend badges. It looks a little scammy. So I'm just going to keep it as table. And for the offer title, let's leave it as buy more, save more. But of course you can change it up however you'd want. For quantity, we're going to leave it as simple. Then for price, we'll do per item, and then savings will be total. And for appearance, I'm going to leave all the default options, but you can change it based on how your brand looks. And then scrolling below, I'm only going to keep it active on the cart page. I'm going to make it inactive for the cart button, and also inactive for the checkout button. Let's continue to review. So as long as everything looks good here, we're going to make it active, and then we're going to save it. And then lastly, my favorite app of them all is the one-click post-purchase. And the reason why this is my favorite is because they've already made a purchase. So if they wanted to add another item and pay more money onto your store, they can do that with one click. So they don't have to put in any payment information. It's as simple as just clicking a button. So let's create one-click post-purchase. So first we have to make sure it's enabled. So go to Shopify settings. For post-purchase page, click vitals, then save. So for triggers, we're going to keep any order, but you can always customize it however you'd want. Continue to offer. So from my experience, I've seen a lot of customers usually buy the same product again after they make their initial purchase because they're already interested in that product. So getting it at a higher discount would only incentivize them more to go through with that purchase. So I'm going to set the discount at 50% off. So we can keep the headline text as add this special deal to your order. And for the decline button style, which is obviously this, we're going to keep it as outline. So you could show quantity selector, which will give them the option to buy more than one. So I'm not going to even add the product description because they already seen it before, right? That's why they initially purchased that item. But maybe if it's a different product, maybe it might be a good idea to add a product description. But because it's the same one, I'm just going to keep everything as simple and clean because they already know what they're getting. So then let's continue to review. All right, then go here, click active, and then save. So now our post-purchase upsell has been created. So now we have 3 upsells on our store. We have the product bundles, the volume discount, and the post-purchase upsell. And of course, make sure to go through all these apps. Find one that makes the most sense for your store, edit them however you want based on your brand. This is all customizable, so do whatever makes sense to you.